listening to them to come up with an approach that would meet their needs. The so-called Paycheck Protection Program was not adequate. They didn't even know if they were going to be in business, let alone paying back a loan. Being stubbornly slow to recover. And approximately 90,000 restaurants have already closed permanently.
Yes, everybody, President Biden has officially announced a new signing. The bill will actually provide additional financial aid to people that meet the eligibility requirements, but there might be some bad news for Social Security benefits. The SSI is actually warning that benefits might soon run out, and this definitely is not good, everybody. So, according to the annual report for the Board of Trustees of the Federal Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund, the future of Social Security remains uncertain. I know many of you are wondering whether Social Security will run out soon. Well, CNN has just reported that Social Security's income is expected to exceed its annual expenses this year. The report projects that reserves will be fully depleted by 2035, and annual taxes are expected to cover only about 3/4 of the benefits each year after that. Part of the problem can be attributing to longer life expectancies, a smaller working age population, and an increase in the number of retirees. By 2035, the number of people 65 and older will increase to more than 78 million, from about 56 million today. As a result, more people will begin taking money out of the Social Security system, but there will be fewer people paying into it. Now, that doesn't mean the program will run out of money entirely, though. Payroll taxes are expected to cover about 76% of scheduled benefits. But if the 21% funding gap is not filled, retirees could get lower Social Security payments, or workers might need to pay more into the system. And if no changes are made, the worst case scenario would be that benefits would be cut. If you plan to rely on the Social Security program in 2035, it is important to know that there's a chance you could receive less in Social Security benefits than you might have expected. If no changes are made to deal with the trust fund shortfall, benefits will have to be deducted, reduced by 23% for many retired adults. That kind of cut in benefits will represent a big financial hit. Social Security provides at least half of the income for 50% of elderly married couples, and 70% of elderly single people, everybody. And if benefits are not cut, tax revenue for the program will likely have to increase. One way to do that is through increasing the payroll tax rate.
Year coming out of COVID, and right now, to be honest, I have no plans to increase pricing again this year, but we'll of course take a look at it as we get to the third and fourth quarter.
100% increase. I mean, it's hard to wrap your mind around that in some ways. I mean, if you're not going to raise prices again, or if you can't necessarily push all of that cost out to consumers in terms of pricing, are there other ways that you're going about navigating this?
Well, we can obviously try and be more efficient in our operations. There's always savings that way. We're also, you got to remember the mindset coming out of COVID and being in the restaurant business. We're looking to build back our business.
Stand up and work for them because they desperately need our help, and we must deliver on their behalf. And let me thank Speaker Pelosi, of course, Chairwoman Velasquez, and Congressman Blumenauer for their tremendous leadership in working so diligently in bringing this bill to the floor. H.R. 3807 continues Democrats' efforts to help our small businesses and restaurants recover from the economic costs of COVID-19. These small businesses are the economic and cultural lifeblood of our communities, and so we established the Restaurant Revitalization Fund and other support programs in the American Rescue Plan. The ARP delivered billions of dollars to help people and businesses make it through this crisis. Almost 600 restaurants and bars in my district alone received more than $212 million to keep their doors open and to support their employees and families. However, we know that this crisis is still not over, and we must deliver more assistance. We must pass this bill today, and I strongly urge my colleagues to vote aye.